Tokyo Game Show is over and no new Resident Evil 9 footage was shown. But that doesn't mean there aren't any fresh details about Requiem. Producer Masata Kumazawa and director Koshi Nakanishi gave numerous interviews and confirmed several things we'd been hoping for. Let's talk about it. Hey, I'm Andy. Welcome to Rely on Horror. TGS 2025 had two Resident Evil 9 live streams. One on Saturday and the other one on Sunday. For me, it was 7:20 a.m. and 8:40 a.m., but that depends on the time zone, of course. For those who got up early and don't speak Japanese, it probably wasn't worth it. No new footage was shown. Instead, Capcom replayed the first and most recent trailers and played through the Gamescom demo with the hosts of the stream. However, during these streams and in interviews later, new information was revealed and even some rumors confirmed. Let's dive in. Nakanishi first apologized to fans for once again showing only old gameplay and trailers. He explained that these Japanese streams were deliberately aimed at a domestic audience because many Japanese players don't understand English well and therefore missed what was shown at Gamescom or PAX West. Capcom wanted to give them the same experience during TGS. According to Nakanishi, Grace Ashcroft is the most timid and socially anxious character in Resident Evil history. She struggles to communicate with people and is traumatized by witnessing her mother's murder as a teenager. At the same time, she's thrown into perhaps the most extreme situation the series has ever depicted. But this is just the beginning. Grace will grow throughout the game. It's reminiscent of a classic hero's journey in which she ultimately overcomes her fears. Nakanishi is confident players will love her by the end, and to be honest, I like her already. He also talked about Grace's mother, Alyssa Ashcroft, known from Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and 2. After the Raccoon City incident, Alyssa focused on investigative journalism, exposing corrupt corporations, bioweapon development, and government cover-ups. She discovered something that someone who eventually kills her desperately wants to keep secret. There's no shortage of fan theories about who the killer might be, from Spencer to Wesker, but Nakanishi made it clear it's a completely new character. As for Alyssa's background, he acknowledged that Outbreak is no longer playable because of platform issues, but promised that everything important about Alyssa will be told in Requiem. Honestly, Capcom, how about a proper Outbreak remaster? The only reason it failed back then was poor internet availability. But that's another topic, so let's get back to Resident Evil Requiem. Many fans have asked when pre-orders will open. Nakanishi said sometime soon, either October or November 2025, with more details to come. Regarding gameplay, he confirmed all the classic mechanics will return. Puzzle solving, backtracking, exploration, inventory management, and of course, combat. He stressed that Requiem is not a hide-and-seek game at all. The demo should not be taken as representative of the whole game. There are many unique gameplay elements Capcom hasn't revealed yet. Even though Grace doesn't wield a weapon in the demo, she will have distinct combat abilities and other mechanics the team can't talk about yet. Resident Evil 9 will combine intense horror with action sequences, striking a balance between Resident Evil 7 and the Resident Evil 2 remake. It's designed for newcomers and veterans alike, but serious fans will, in his words, have 150% more fun thanks to countless hidden references that longtime players will appreciate. Everything shown so far takes place very early in the game. You start with Grace at the Renwood Hotel and then move on to the Road Hill Chronic Care Center. That's the sanatorium from the demo. But this isn't the main setting, it's just a small part of the game. Nakanishi is keeping quiet about where else we go, including whether Raccoon City plays a larger role. And spoiler alert, yeah, of course it will. He also mentioned ink ribbons, calling them an essential item, hinting strongly at their return. In the demo, players could already find an empty ink ribbon case, something we've never seen before. Bottles used to distract Big Mama will later serve as crafting ingredients. He didn't say for what, but Molotov cocktail seems likely. Difficulty was another topic. Requiem aims to be one of the tougher entries, as Nakanishi said. But there will be easier modes where enemies are slower, less aggressive, and auto-aim is enabled. Current data shows about 2 out of 10 players failed to finish the demo due to time constraints or dying early. A big Easter egg still hasn't been found. Besides a zombie scream, there's a hidden voice giving a hint about the entire game's story. And yes, zombies are confirmed as the standard enemy. They'll behave differently than classic zombies with unique patterns and maybe harder to kill, possibly pointing to a smarter evolution of Crimson Heads or similar to the infected in 28 Days Later. The Japanese voice actress for Grace is apparently also a big surprise and a very special person whose identity remains secret but will be revealed soon. The Switch 2 version of the game was also highlighted at TGS. It ran beautifully and was even playable for the public. Interestingly, this port happened by chance. Capcom first tested Resident Evil Village on the Switch 2, which performed far better than expected, so they decided to bring Requiem and eventually Resident Evil 7 to the platform as well. You may have heard that Resident Evil 9 could be the last numbered entry. Nakanishi said Capcom would like to do that, but isn't 100% sure yet. They don't want to erase the entire lore, but a fresh start with new characters like Grace could be a smart move. Now for the elephant in the room. Where is Leon? Practically everyone, including trusted leaker Dusk Golem, expected Leon to appear at TGS. An old IGN clip from August even resurfaced where the host accidentally mentioned him, and a Spanish gaming magazine did the same. Reportedly, journalists were warned not to bring him up, Leon, during the interviews, presumably so that Nakanishi doesn't have to say anything that isn't true. That leaves 2 possibilities. Either we'll see Leon in the next trailer, maybe before or at the Game Awards, or they'll keep him a hidden secret until release for a big in-game reveal. Personally, I would prefer that. With only 5 months left until Resident Evil Requiem launches, I can wait, even if I'm very curious, of course. Resident Evil Requiem releases February 27, 2026 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, X, Switch 2 and PC. Which version will you pick up? Are you excited for the 9th entry, and what are your story theories? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I see you in the next video.